As you talk sports, they were talking boxing. Proudly joined by the one and only Sahni. How are you doing today, Dev?
I'm good. Probably not as good as you, though. I mean, you are one of the guys that got an exclusive with Anthony Joshua this week. You asked a question up there as well. Well done, you. Well done.
Thank you very much. And speaking of asking questions to AJ, one thing I think is important to note, this time you didn't ask him any questions. Was that pre-planned or was that in the moment you decided not to?
No, it was kind of talked about, like, not between me and AJ, but it was discussed and it was decided, really, that was probably the best way, just to ensure that we got everything we needed.
Yeah. And obviously, it's not the first time you had like a bit of frostiness. Could you explain a bit about, is there any backstory behind that or anything? Or
I mean, all I've done is consistently pick against him in fights. So I've consistently said Tyson Fury will beat him, Wilder will beat him, and Joe Joyce will beat him. I've said things like this. Of course, you've got to remember, he's always been other side of the street, so I can be pretty free rein. I was never expecting a scenario where actually I'd have to interview him. But, you know, I've said what I've said in the past. I still stand by those comments. I wasn't expecting it to ever appear on his radar, though. Doesn't feel like it should, but hey-ho, it's led to another storyline in Fight Week.
Either way, what can't be denied is the fact that we've got a massive card. Where should we start? We'll start with the four main fights. Dubois versus Miller. We saw Dubois, you know, a bit tense up there. Not tense, like talkative. Sorry.
Wait, where did that come from? Who stuck 2p in Daniel Dubois? Absolutely unbelievable. I've never seen anything like that before from Daniel. And this Jarrell Miller, I mean, look, he might have actually gifted us a new version of Daniel Dubois. Say Daniel Dubois knocks him out on Saturday, and suddenly he's this guy who not only knocks people out, not only knocks out loud Americans, but also he can chat a bit. Where's that come from? We'll be saying thank you, Jarrell.
Do you think Dubois actually took the words today up there?
Do you know what? He might have done. I think he did, actually. I know Miller said, you know, Miller's got his usual sort of string of fantastic insults, but Daniel Dubois, the shock factor that gave him the edge, and will it be the shock factor that gives him the edge on Saturday? Let's see.
And then moving on, Wilder versus Parker, also very tense. I mean, that quote that you read out, I mean, that just kept going on and on and on. It was like, I want him out on the ring, I want him on the floor looking up.
Yeah.
Do you think that could get to Parker? Obviously, it did, on the surface didn't seem, but do you think it could have any effect on the fight?
Look, you put words out there, they're going somewhere. Yeah. So let's see. He seems pretty cool. But yeah, I enjoyed reading out that quote, just to put it out there and see who reacts. And yeah, it's all right.
And that's the headline, AJ versus Wallin. You said that, obviously up there, I suppose you're not going to make any predictions, but you said it's going to be a close fight. Could I push you for any predictions? Obviously you...
Absolutely not. AJ wins every fight he's ever in for the rest of his career. He's the best heavyweight in the world. Thanks.
Okay, without the sarcasm though, it's going to be a very tough fight. Do you think that this could be one of AJ's toughest fights in recent times?
It's a risk. It's his biggest risk since the Alexander Usyk fights. There's no doubt about that. Jermaine Franklin, you know, he was expected to beat Jermaine Franklin. He was expected to beat Robert Helenius. He's expected to beat Otto Wallin as well, but Otto Wallin has been in there with some very good guys. He's only got one defeat on his record to the best heavyweight in the world. So yeah, this is a potential banana skin.
Thank you very much for your time, Dev. Really appreciate it as always.
Well done.